Okay, boys, here we are. Crazy story. So last week, I had a half day on a Friday, and I also had my best friend's wedding, which I was the best man in, and so I had to be there at his wedding rehearsal. Well, actually not the rehearsal, but I had to be there at the wedding to get ready for pictures and stuff like that at 5:30. Typically get off work at 4, but I took a half day, so I went trying to run errands to get shirts, shoes, that kind of thing. Anyways, on my way back to the house, I was like, I need to stop and just early vote, just because I didn't want, the day of the election seems to be pretty packed, and I figured it would be kind of dead. Well, it turns out I showed up, and it wasn't exactly dead, but I still had enough time, I felt, to go ahead and vote. So I jumped in line, and I just so happened to jump in line with a young guy who works at a local auto repair shop. Well, we start talking cars and key-hauling and everything else, and he mentioned something about having a Supra, a Turbo Supra, at his job that they were going to sell, because they couldn't really get rid of it because it needs brakes and it needs, something's up with the turbo. And I was kind of interested. I was like, well, what are you guys wanting to sell? What do they want to sell it for? And he said $200. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? What? You didn't say $200. He says, yeah, $200. He just about to the point where we're going to crush it. And I'm like, absolutely not. Do not do that. I was like, when can I come by? He's like, well, we open at blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, I'll come get it. And he's like, all right, cool. So we exchanged numbers, and when we got done voting, because he was in front of me, I texted him. I said, hey, when are you going to be back at work? He's like, well, I'm back here now if you want to come look at it. So I'm like, yeah. So I immediately went straight over there and looked at it, and he says, you got to talk to my manager, ask him about the price and that kind of thing. I looked at the car. Obviously, it looked like it had been sitting, but MK3 Supra Turbo car, 5-speed car. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want it. He's like, well, I don't have the title signed and that kind of thing. And he's like, we're about to close here shortly. So I was like, well, how about this? I'm going to come back on Monday morning when you guys open at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to give you the money, and I'll pick up the car. And when the owner comes by to get his money, he can sign the title and that kind of thing. And so right now, it is like 7:42, and I am on my way up to this auto repair place to pick up a turbo 5-speed Supra for $500. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I get another video after this of us driving away with this thing. So I'm trying not to get too excited, to get worked up. Alright, boys, we're getting close. So here we are. Hopefully I'll fire this thing back up here in a second. Alright, boys, here we are. I have not even tried to start this thing, because I really honestly didn't even care if it even ran. I don't even know if this thing even got a good enough battery in it, but nope. Okay, so let me pop the hood. Got my jump box. Oh, the shock still work. Here's the key. Oh, she runs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my word. I'm gonna drive this thing on the trailer, guys. I'm gonna drive it on the freaking trailer. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Listen to that thing. Okay, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and load this thing up and just get out of here. It was fate, I tell you. There she is. She's on the trailer, boys. Man, not like I needed another car, but honestly, to rescue an actual turbo 5-speed Supra is, man, oh, I don't even know. Guess if you're like me, you kind of can appreciate it. Hate to see any of these cars are getting so rare, even the ones that are in bad shape, but this thing's actually in amazing shape. And I'm looking down in the rearview mirror and looking at the lines on the car, and it's actually just a beautiful car. It's one of those cars that you never really paid a whole lot of attention to until you actually own it, and then you're looking at it going, man, it's perfect. Okay, so here we are. After I got the car and dropped it off and get a little closer look at it, I kind of wanted to make sure I got all the title stuff square before I started making a video on it, but let you get a little closer look at just how good a quality the car is actually in. As you can see, the paint is actually decent. There's some clear coat coming off. You can see where they had painted right above the pinstriping before, so I'm sure the clear coat was peeling off the car, and at some point in time, instead of painting the whole car, they just went ahead and painted the top section of it just to kind of preserve it. But the rest of the paint is actually good, and there is no rust on this car anywhere. It's what you'd expect from a 1980s car, but you see little minor bump ups, you know, typical stuff you'd see. But there's all solid metal, no rust, man. So I'm just absolutely tickled to death to get this car. What I've gathered, because I'm not sure how long it was sitting, is that it just, whoever owned it had let the car sit because they probably had a different, bought an updated vehicle, and from its setting, the brakes lock up. I'm sure there was probably some stuff with the fuel, that kind of thing. So they dropped it off at a local shop to get the work done, and just kind of probably get it going again. And they realized there was going to be just too much money to put into it. So they, I do know they put a brand new battery in it, which was dead. And then also, it has a sticker on the windshield here. Hard to see that. Anyways, there we go. So you can see that the oil was changed in January 21st of this year. So they took it over there, got the oil changed and stuff, and then had the car looked at, and then just determined it was going to be way too much. Because if you look, of course, under the engine, in the engine bay here, just a whole lot of cruddiness. Hoses are dry and cracked, and surface rust, a little oxidation. Just again, what you'd kind of expect from a car sitting like that. But a brand new battery. Now, when I picked this thing up, of course, it didn't have a charge. The battery had died, but I put a jump box on it, and it fired right up. So I did cut the cats off it yesterday, just because I am going to put exhaust on this thing, and the turbo's definitely not going to stay. But just to kind of get some money back out of the car already, went ahead and sold the cats, because you know, definitely not running those. So we got $100 for cats. So we're in this car $400 already. But interior's not terrible. It needs a little work. I know the dashboard's got a cover on it. It's got a crack in it, and door panels. It's got a little repair spot. So I might try to find one of these blue door panels. They're not terrible. This one over here is perfect. So the dashboard does got cracks in it. And so if I can find a dashboard, which is probably going to be nearly impossible, if I can find a dashboard, I'll definitely put a dashboard in it and do some stuff. But let me go ahead and, that sun is right in my, go ahead and, so she starts right up. Oil pressure come up. Oh, and it does have a dual DIN radio in it, which don't really have any, could care less about that. Yeah, there she is. So I am tickled to death to get this car. The only thing is I am fighting myself not to just be buying stuff for it. I did order brand new rotors, and ordered brand new rotors, brake pads, calipers, and everything from Rock Auto for, I think it was like $200. So I'm gonna put all the brakes on it, and I am gonna, where I cut the cats out, just straight pipe it and just get it to the point of running and driving, so I know that everything's okay with it, which I did drive it already. It drives fine. It's got every gear, all that stuff's good. So once I do that, then I'm debating on just pulling it out and just freshening it up top to bottom, and just cleaning it all up, getting it looking really good, and just back to factory. I don't want to go crazy with it, because the whole point of this car to me is just getting something that we can go cruise with, the RB240. You got two, 1980 model straight six turbo cars just ripping around, just having a good time. So I don't want to go crazy. I got plenty of other projects to make, drag cars out of, but this car's just way too solid and too cool to take apart and cut up or anything like that. So anyways, let me know what you guys think would be cool to do, and we might make it happen. So.